a lot of things do really come down to sex, though. And even though we're a sexed up society, we have sex dolls all around us. We have hardcore pornography at your fingertips. We have strip clubs down the street. We've got edible panties online. We've got dildos. eBay has got dildos for sale right now. Lady Gaga is singing in your town or a town near you at some point this year, or one of her fellow gangbanger associates. But what I really want to communicate is that even though we're so sexed up in this society, you know, what's that song by that one group from the 1980s? So, push it real good, dude, dude. Yeah. So we're a very, very, 8-year-olds twerking and whatnot. We're a fucking society. Okay, we're a fucking society, and we've always been that way. The world really is about who's fucking who and what color are they, and different trends that I've seen. It's funny how the men want to kill each other or kill certain men that their own women might be sexually attracted to. Another very interesting way that the earth seems to maintain its population rates. The world is about who's fucking who, and even though we're so sexed up, the point is that we are so very immature at talking about sex. Even though there's so many images of the obelisk around us, the male phallic power, and there's so many ways that sex sells in advertising, and so many ways in which some women will actually say, well, that woman did something bad. I hope she gets fucked in prison. Instead of being, a feminine, loving female, just another angry hyena. Make 'em pay. And so even though we live in a society where we've got so much, fucking and sucking going on, and videos all around us in 3D, and it's just like sloth, evil, physical pleasure. We are a very, very backwater. We're a very, very retarded, degraded, held back, suppressed, knowledge-wise society about the nature of sexual energy. Throughout generations, throughout bloodlines, the true nature of sexual energy, the light side and the dark side, a light side being something that promotes love and union, something that promotes life, that is actually in line with the earth energy, as opposed to the other side of sexuality, or the other flip, or the other side of a coin, that which dominates, or is controlling, or feeding upon, or consuming, or, the rape side, or the rapist side, or the other side of the dark side of sexuality, allowing yourself to be conquered, raped, eaten, devoured, desecrated, destroyed, destroyed. So, we as a society, despite the fact that we've got so many sexual images around us, we are a very held back, retarded society into the duality, the dualistic nature of sexuality. How you can create life, create families, create positive values, create positive structures, basically outbreed the ones that are overbreeding. And even though there's a lot of concern about population, and that's very much something that one could argue was a very serious issue, with rent costs and money is needed to feed your kids, populations, how many kids is one going to have, can they afford it, all that has a part to play in being realistic. But there's also something about conscious beings having children to contribute to the population numbers on this planet in a positive way. So it's not just one type of consciousness breeding. And that's not something that's examined enough by the anti-breeders of this world. That a situation has been created where there's only a certain type of consciousness duplicating itself. Now, I myself am not someone that has a problem with being single the rest of my life and never having a child and never having family, because there may be something to this type of spiritual view of not having additional ties to souls on this planet, because some of us are trying our damnedest to get off this rock. We see what's going on spiritually. We identify with the light, and we can see a darkness that seems to have consumed the earth, and we are not going to fall prey to any mind control that the darkness has been removed from the planet, which has happened to so many New Agers on the planet today that literally have their head up their granola eating ass. Excuse the reference to granola. I love granola. It's just an expression. I love true hippies as well and true granola eaters, but it's just an expression of speech. Granola eating motherfuckers that are sitting there mentally masturbating furiously. That we are now in a collective shift in consciousness, and pinpo realities are not going on outside my fucking front window at 5 o'clock in the morning, reminding me of the microcosmic aspect of the macrocosmic reality, the greater reality, as below so above, as above so below. But so much of the world is about fucking and penetration and creation of life. What type of life is being created? Loving, conscious beings that were taught and given certain values by their parents, maybe values about love, maybe values about compassion, maybe values about oneness, maybe values about resistance to state control, maybe values about promotion of family, maybe values about families that are healthy, where it's not just the man dominating or the woman dominating, also known as a situation where the man is, as they say, pussy whipped. A reality where there's no pussy whipping going on, and there's no women being pulled by their hair, being forced to do certain things, being forced to clean the floor, being forced to cook the food in the kitchen. Passing on positive values instead, where people cook together. The child, the mother, the father. What would you like to eat tonight? I don't know. What would you like to eat tonight? You know, healthy spinach sounds good tonight. Maybe with some sauce that we make. Maybe with some salad. Maybe we'll bake some bread. You know, maybe we'll do something healthy. And in the process, there are healthy things in the food. It's not bought from McDonald's. It's not necessarily bought from the cheapest grocery store. There's time put into preparing it. There's an appreciation for being with the family. And even if the laptop's been open most of the day, there's a time to shut the laptop and have everybody around the dinner table without any technology, just to hear each other and just to talk to each other, and not be like one of these typical American families where they're just sitting there all silent under the house because they're unhappy, but they're under the same house because they're surviving together, because somebody's making the money, because someone's getting fucked at their employer, and maybe they're fucking other people by getting them into debt or some other means, and they come home and they're all silent as they eat their porridge. And I say the word porridge loosely. They may be eating genetically modified frozen buffalo wings from Safeway or Kroger for $6.99 that have been frozen and heated up by mom in the kitchen. The food we eat and all that stuff, by the way, affects the seed, the semen as well. Eat healthier, you're going to have healthier kids. There's clearly going to be healthier babies growing in the womb if you have a healthy mother and father. Smoking aside and other drugs aside, we know that those things can affect the womb. In so many ways, sexuality is how the world is run. If you have people loving each other more on a sexual level over killing each other, you'd have a different type of society. I mentioned this earlier, and I'll mention it again. It seems to me that a lot of men that basically have viewed me in an aggressive manner, women of their bloodline, Anglo-Saxon, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, for the most part, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and redheads are sexually attracted to my bloodline or my type, my mix of Anglo-Saxon, Austrian, Welsh genes with Afghani, East Indian genes. It's a very unique combo. It's a very unique form of human chemistry, that which comprises whatever I am. And I've seen it dramatically turn on women of a certain bloodline or blood type, and I've seen women of a certain bloodline or blood type show no interest in me. In particular, with a few exceptions, Middle Eastern women and Hispanic women don't show me anywhere near the attention that a redhead or a blonde will. So there's something about opposites attracting with bloodlines. There is something about the average Hispanic woman who's just not interested. And maybe there's enough brown gene in her or in me that she's not interested in potentially duplicating another version of that. It seems that sexuality is about mating with an opposite or something opposite of yourself. That's why, there's a lot of white women drawn to black men, a lot of black men drawn to white women, a lot of Asian women drawn to white men, a lot of white men drawn to Asian women. But of course, not so many, and of course, some white women and Asian men and whatnot. There's some of those. But the male-female, certain racial or perception of races, even though we're all one in the end, but certain attractions are there, it seems, built into our physical matrix. I think we should openly speculate on why there's certain built-in attractions to certain bloodlines that are almost hardwired into us. What I've learned to do as a male who's on this conscious journey, outside the box journey, is to be honest with myself as to where my sexuality is. I know what turns me on. I know what does not turn me on. And I've entertained lots of theories as to why certain blood types are attracted to certain blood types, just like certain foods. And I've also drawn a line when it comes to spirituality, and I have crossed over to where I'm not a slave to those attractions.